Marla Dukharan is one of the most well-known names in Caribbean economics, and the annual event where she presents her outlook and analysis for the upcoming year has, since inception, drawn intense interest from academics and policymakers both in the region and around the world. While Dukharan's annual economic outlook and strategies for growth has always taken place digitally, this year's edition will take attendees into the Metaverse. Last Friday, I ventured into the realm of virtual reality to sit with Dukharan as she explained the thought process behind the decision to host a digital native conference and to move it into the Metaverse this year.
Is the fact that my region, your region, Jamaica, we are the most affected region by climate crisis. Okay, it's not climate change anymore. My prime minister in Barbados says this is a crisis. It's the climate crisis. We are the most impacted region by the climate crisis. And everybody is now in Cairo and in Egypt trying to solve this problem and how we're going to finance the climate adaptation that we need in this region. And it's kind of hypocritical of us, right, to jump on a plane just because we would like to be at an event in person so we could hug up, right, and enjoy ourselves. And ignoring the carbon emission aspect of this.
Virtual meetings may not be ideal for every situation, Dukharan concedes, but the pandemic has forced many of us to reconsider the concept of traveling for work and networking purposes.
For a meeting for a few hours, it makes no sense to get on a plane and go through security and book a hotel and all of that per diem lifestyle that is great for some people and is relevant for certain events, but I feel like this is not one of those events where it's optimal. I feel like it's absolutely optimal to be online, but try a different platform where we get away from the boredom and the overdoneness, if I can use a term like that, of Zoom and of webinar platforms. And we can try a different platform where we can actually high-five each other, we can shake hands, we can have fun, we can make our avatar look like something that we just wish we could look like. My avatar wears flip-flops simply because I wanted to be a little more like what I really am every day in flip-flops in Barbados, as opposed to me wearing boots in Kilkenny or London or New York.
When it comes to the economic outlook for the year ahead, Dukharan acknowledges the consensus reached by major global institutions such as the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund. 2023 will be a difficult year. However, the regional economist, who prior to our interview had been traveling in the UK and the US, says that beyond the statistics, in major cities one can feel that things aren't quite what they used to be.
There is a lot that we have to take cognizance of going into 2023. I just came from London, and in addition to the economic factors, which we will discuss in detail in terms of why are we here economically, they have for sure massive, maybe unprecedented in this century, political spillovers, if you will, that are affecting confidence and therefore affecting their economic performance in the UK. Their third quarter results just came out and they're already in recession. And I see it there. I mean, when I was in London, I was quite shocked as to what I felt. And I don't want to say this sounding like I am an economist and I want to be true to my craft, with as it relates to statistics and the evidence, but also as a human being, you can feel, you can sense the energy in a place and how people feel and where people's minds and hearts are at. And I've never felt London like this before. And then having traveled to New York, same. I mean, there is Veterans Day parade. I just went for a walk this morning to get something to eat, and everywhere the police are on the streets cordoning off, and all the veterans that are out for their parade. And there is a bit of a festive, I guess, a bit of a festive mood, but you can still feel that there is something wrong. These economies feel low.
The Caribbean, Dukharan says, needs to be keenly aware of the current economic circumstances of major metropolitan countries for obvious reasons.
It's really hitting home for me because for us in the Caribbean, these are the people that travel to our countries, stay in our hotels, eat our food, buy, souvenirs, and spend money that keeps our most of our economies going. And so that has serious, what I'm seeing and feeling in these big cities in these past few days has serious implications for us in our region.
Not everything is doom and gloom, however. Dukharan, in the November edition of her monthly Caribbean Economic Report, highlighted two regional economies that are bucking the trend of sluggish growth or even contraction. The Dominican Republic achieved double-digit growth, up 12.3% over last year, and I asked Dukharan why.
It's about being diversified. It's about managing your exchange rate such that you can maintain your external competitiveness, etc. And Jamaica is also looking better as well.
During her remarks at Friday's event, Dukharan says she also plans to examine the linkages between and pathway from food and water security and economic diversification and resilience. Apart from the incisive economic analysis Dukharan has become known for, the agenda for the 2023 Economic Outlook and Strategies for Growth also includes a remarkable entertainment activity, the first Metaverse performance by Trinidadian rhapsody band Three Canal. Dukharan spoke about why they were the perfect pick for Friday.
I love their music, I love their energy, and most importantly, Janika, why I felt like it was so important to have them, even though I love Freetown Collective and Kes and Marshall and Destra and Nadia Batsan and so many artists from my country and others from the region as well, is that Three Canal has consistently, as long as I've known myself, had a positive and conscious message. And I am so aligned with that. And I want that message and that consciousness and that positivity to be part of not just my life, but part of my event.
The consortium will be attending the 2023 Economic Outlook and Strategies for Growth on Friday, November 18th, and will be reporting on the proceedings.